Hey guys, welcome back to the Girlfriends and Goals podcast YouTube channel. My name is Samaria and I'm joined by my best friend and co-host Miyosha. And today we're doing another Am I the A-hole reaction video, but this one is holiday gathering themed because 'tis the season.
Yep.
So if you're interested in that, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let us know your thoughts on these scenarios in the comments down below. All right, we're gonna start with the first one.
All right. Am I the a-hole for banning alcohol from Christmas? My husband's family likes to drink. Every holiday includes multiple bottles of wine slash cocktails. I hate drinking. I have never drank. My father was an alcoholic. I think it's childish if you can't have fun without drinking. This year, I'm hosting Christmas for a change. I decided since it's at my house, no alcohol allowed. We are all getting older and it's time to grow up. My husband's sister called to ask what she could bring. She saw a recipe for a Christmas martini that she wanted to bring. I told her about my no alcohol rule. She didn't say much, but she must have told the rest of the family. Some of them started texting me asking if I was serious, saying it's lame, but I'm not budging. Now, it turns out my husband's sister is hosting an alternate gathering that almost everyone is choosing to go to instead. It's so disrespectful, all because they would have had to spend one day sober. My
Mhm.
husband told me he talked to his sister and we were invited to her gathering, and he said we should just go and stop causing issues. But I won't. It's so rude. Now my husband is mad. I'm making him stay at home and spend Christmas with me, but it was my turn to host and I chose to have no alcohol. They could have dealt with it for 1 year. Am I the a-hole?
Absolutely, girl. What? Excuse me? The fact that she fixed her fingers to type that on Beyonce's internet and really ask that question, is this a joke?
I don't I don't think that it is. I think in her mind, she's thinking it's at my house. I'm going to have the rules and host it the way that I want. But what doesn't make sense to me is that it sounds like you've been around this family for a while. You've
Yeah,
gotten a chance to observe what's the norm here. You said that it always includes multiple bottles of wine and cocktails. That's very specific.
because they
So,
enjoy that.
why would you choose to deviate from that? My assumption is this isn't your first time hosting Christmas because you said it was your turn this year.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what the deal is. It seems like you're choosing violence for no reason.
It does feel that way. Now, I can understand that she does not like that, especially with her background, her family history. So that's completely understandable. However, you cannot be the police on people's holiday, what they can do and what they can't do. Like talking about, oh, we all need to grow up. Okay, so you clearly have a very specific idea of what being an adult means. However, nobody else shares that same sentiment. So you can't police people who are grown.
And I'll add, I would have more sympathy for her stance on this if she had said something specific happened at a family gathering.
Yeah.
The alcohol is out of control. People are not controlling themselves, but she didn't say anything like that. And I felt like if it had happened, she would have said it.
Yeah, it's not because anything happened. It's her
Mm-mm.
own perspective. She thinks they're immature. They can't have fun without a drink. They need to grow up. Like this is all she's very much projecting on these people. Perhaps after a long year of whatever, they
Mm-hmm.
just want to relax with their family in a safe space and let loose. And I have this, I'm not a drinker. So if in
Mm-hmm.
our like friend group or in my like family, if anybody were to host a sober holiday, it would probably be me. But I would never do
Mm-hmm.
that because you can't take away the things that people enjoy at a time of the year where they're expecting to enjoy things. You can't do that.
And it feels like a trade-off. If you want to spend the day with me, then
Mm-hmm.
this is how you're going to do it. It feels very controlling. And
Yeah.
so when she says that, the sister was like, oh, well, bet. That's fine. Do
We
what you
don't
want
have
to
to
do.
spend the day with you.
Right. We'll stay at home because you're asking someone to spend the one day that they have to celebrate Christmas to do it in the way that you want them to
You
do
want.
it. So now the sister is hosting a gathering. of no surprise because people in the family like their drinks. They're
Mm-hmm.
all going to go to her house so they don't have to sit at your house and do it the way you want it done. And then you I guess are expecting your husband,
Her
you put him,
husband. Her
and they're not going to like
husband.
you after this, by the way. They probably already didn't.
Oh my
They're
gosh.
definitely not going to see it for you after this, girl. Because now it's going to be like, oh, yeah, remember that Christmas where you had to stay at the house and you couldn't come? All of his
Yeah.
family is going to be together. And the thing that's holding all this up is alcohol.
And you're now preventing him, like forbidding him from going to his family's event. So now he only gonna be looking at you all Christmas, you looking back at him, y'all just looking at each other the entire day. That is so unfair to to her poor husband. But I, even if I didn't drink, like, well, I don't, but I would still skip out on her holiday because it just feels very exclusive, like overly exclusive.
And there's no valid reason. I would even also have more respect if this was always your rule at your house,
Mhm.
because it was like, okay, well, this makes sense. It's always been this way. And then they will probably always opt to not have it at your house.
Period. Look, last Christmas, she was probably like, oh, next year's my turn. She's been plotting this for an entire year. Next year is my turn. I got something for them. Like, girl, you are not the school principal. These people
Mm-mm.
have options, and they were absolutely right for using one of those options, having a party at someone else's house. You can come or not, but you're not about to stop these people's, like, I understand even having non-alcoholic options.
Mm-hmm.
Or saying like, okay, we're going to have the dinner and then afterwards we'll open up the bar or whatever, but you cannot completely remove that option from the table when these people actively, according to her, enjoy this part of the holiday.
Yeah, it almost feels like she's actively trying to separate her husband a bit from his family. I wonder what he ended up doing. Did he end up just
Going,
eating with her and then going to
yeah,
just having two Christmases?
that's not a fair thing to do to him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's
And
absolutely right. Like, let's just go. Stop making a big deal out of things. She's like, no, it's rude. You're rude. You are rude, and you started it, girl. Relax.
yeah, someone in the comments said you're the a-hole and the Grinch who stole Boozmas. I agree.
That's exactly what she is. Oh man.
All right.
Okay, well, let us know in the comments how you feel about I feel like it'll be overwhelming, but these always surprise me, especially when we put them on the shorts. People are always like, "Well, it is so unthoughtful for them to want to come to her house, or for them to think that she should have alcohol and she should like." They're offering to bring the stuff. It's not like she has to provide the alcohol. They're bringing it. So what's the problem?
Yeah, she should just go to the family house and
She can't go now because she had made a fool out of
yeah,
herself.
now she looks silly.
Because word got
Mhm.
around. The sister was like, okay, bet. I got something for that. All right. Let us know in the comments how you feel about this. We'll go to the next one. So this
Mhm.
one says, am I the a-hole for refusing to make lasagna for Christmas after what my mother-in-law did last year? I, 30-year-old female, have been together with my husband, Michael, 31 male, for 7 years, married for 3 and dating for 4. My mother-in-law, 58-year-old female, has always hosted Christmas ever since I've known him. I've always made lasagna for Christmas and other special occasions. I'm essentially the family lasagna maker, and I honestly don't really mind since I love to cook and bake. However, last year, my mother in law decided to make lasagna based off what she saw me doing when she was at my house and a recipe she got off the internet. I was surprised that she prepared a pan of her own, but didn't say anything and even got a small piece. It did not taste good and it was barely touched, while mine was almost half gone near the end of the dinner. That infuriated my mother in law, and she wound up doing a rant about how everyone loves me more than her and tried to throw my lasagna in the trash. I say tried because it mainly ended up on the floor. Michael and I quickly left after that, and my mother in law has not apologized for it since. Yesterday, she called me to confirm what I was making for Christmas this year, and on her list of things I should make was lasagna. I politely said I wasn't going to make lasagna due to last year's incident, and I'd be happy to make anything else. My mother-in-law wasn't as polite and called me vindictive for refusing to make lasagna over a small mistake. I just refused again, and it made my mother-in-law angrier. So she told me that unless I show up with lasagna in hand, she wouldn't let me be at the Christmas celebration. My husband says it's easier to just make the lasagna to keep the peace, and I shouldn't hold my mother-in-law's mistake that she made out of anger against her. Word got to my sister-in-law and brother-in-law from my mother-in-law, and they're saying I should make it also, even if it's just half of what I would usually make. Am I the a-hole?
No, you are not. And I have questions. Why did she make lasagna last year? If she asked you to bring lasagna, why did she also make lasagna? Why did y'all need two lasagnas? So it sounds like you got duped into a cook-off and didn't even know.
So last year, she made her regular lasagna like she normally would.
Mm-hmm.
And then the mother-in-law just happened to make hers. But this year, she's specifically asking her to bring lasagna.
Yeah, after the fit she threw. But what I'm saying is last year,
Oh, yeah,
I think she ended up in a cook-off. The mother-in-law thought she was going to outdo her, got in her feelings because no one wanted her trash lasagna, and threw a whole fit over food.
She said it did not taste good. I know that gave her pleasure typing it.
Yeah, and I would feel away too. It takes too much effort to cook things like lasagna, all these different ingredients, and for it to end up on the floor. She still hasn't apologized, or at least said something other than what you gonna bring this year. And you have the nerve to ask me to bring the thing that set you off.
The thing that you tried to throw in the trash. After all my efforts last year, so you want me to make it so you could throw it in the trash again? Okay, obviously the mother-in-law has some type of competition in her head going on with her daughter-in-law, and I think that is absolutely unfair and toxic, and she needs to handle that, perhaps with a therapist. I don't know. But I don't think the daughter-in-law is the a-hole, and I don't necessarily think she's vindictive. Could she maybe be being a little petty? Maybe, but I understand it.
You know, I don't even get petty. I get to avoid drama, because it sounds like, what did she say? I'm the family lasagna maker, right?
Yeah.
So to avoid further conflict, last year probably took bamboozled her like, whoa, I didn't even expect all this.
Right.
And to have the subsequent events is like, well, to avoid all this, I'll just bring mac and cheese, or I'll just bring something else. Like, we don't even have to talk about it no more. And so I could understand her from like a conflict standpoint.
Yeah.
Because people, all they're going to do is rant and rave about how great her lasagna is. And how does she know that the mother-in-law won't be set off again? I wouldn't even bring it.
She's damned if she do, and damn if she does.
But I want to understand why is the mother-in-law asking her to bring the lasagna again? One. And then when she was like, no, I don't think that that's a good idea, you uninvite the girl altogether?
That's the thing. So what I'm saying is, if she's trying to avoid conflict, there's no way to avoid conflict. Yeah. Because if she brings a lasagna, it's probably going to set her off. She's probably trying to like make her lasagna too, but make it better than last year. She's probably perfected the recipe in the last, whatever. So it's still going to cause conflict there. And now if she doesn't bring the lasagna, it's still causing conflict. So
because of the mother-in-law though. Yeah.
What I would do for my sister-in-law and brother-in-law, if I really like them, listen, I'm uninvited to the family function. Y'all can drive by and get y'all a little corner of the lasagna, and y'all are happy and I'm happy, and that's that. But I do understand that it's a very like hard situation for the husband.
And to me, it just doesn't make sense that food gets you uninvited.
Because it's not food. I want a camera following this family around, because I'm 1,000% sure it's not just the food.
It's
Something else is going on.
something else has to be going on. And I don't know, from the poster's perspective,
Mhm.
if that's what it takes for me to get uninvited, like I need you to be honest about what's going on
You
here,
just
because
don't like me.
we're not going to be able to move forward in a healthy way as a family if you're
Yeah,
using things like this to control me in a situation.
there's
It just doesn't.
jealousy. Yeah,
Yeah. And for the husband, I would feel a way towards him. Like, I get you're trying to smooth this over, but sometimes you really do have to call a thing, even with your own parents, when
mhm.
it's over something so trivial. Like, the holidays are going to continue to come around. Now I'm being bullied into making lasagna. I don't want to.
Yeah, like she says she enjoys cooking and baking. Now I'm not even enjoying it because what's about to happen, you
What
know?
the lasagna represents. If I don't make said thing, I can't step foot in the door, which is insane.
Yeah, he needs to tell his mom that that's a ridiculous reach to make. Like that's a ridiculous jump from, oh hey, I'm choosing not to make this thing, but I'll make anything else to, well, you can't come around. Is it not a family dinner? Am I not family? Come on, let's be for real.
Mm-mm. There's definitely some beef there.
And it seems like it might be one-sided. No, but the way she described it is like, I know, I have the upper hand because I make the best lasagna and she needs me pretty much. But yeah, I think the mom is being ridiculous. I don't think she is the a-hole. Um, and I hope for the sake of her brother and sister-in-law that she makes a little piece of lasagna for them. But
Mm. I say eat your moms.
but they don't want it. They didn't want it last year.
They don't want, and that's why she's salty.
They didn't want it. Yeah, but I think there is like, and we've talked about this on the podcast too, like older generations, I think do need to learn how to apologize. Like you cannot do that to somebody and then just expect, okay, well, next year when I ask you to bring the lasagna, you're just going to do it. Like, let's
No.
address what happened. Let's not sweep this under the rug. You offended me. You hurt me. It's okay to say, my bad. I overreacted, and nobody's
Mm-hmm.
going to hold that against you. Nobody's going to see you as weaker. Nobody's going to see you in a negative light. If anything, they're going to be like, oh, okay, that's admirable that someone would see their mistake, own up to it, and rectify the situation.
I agree.
All
All right.
right. So we will be back tomorrow, whatever
Mm-hmm.
day this is, with another video. So make sure that you guys comment down below. Let us know what you thought about these two scenarios. And we will see you guys on the next one. Bye.
Bye.